Hey, everybody, we are here to talk a little bit about some exciting news regarding CampDocs and how it integrates with BlackPug. It's Rob DeFazio and Logan Ferraro from the Mayflower Council. And Logan, this is pretty big stuff. No more paper, right?
It is. We're really excited this year to announce that moving forward, all council and district level events are going to be run through our CampDoc program. Now, what that means for our unit leaders is that there will be no more showing up to camp with a giant stack of health forms and permission slips that you need to have checked and turned in for each event. And tonight, we're actually going to walk through the steps of how a unit leader will handle setting up the emails for CampDocs and then throw it off to the hands of the parents.
So that'll make things a lot easier, not just with obviously the paper, but making sure that we have the proper information beforehand. I know when I've taken registrations before, just looking for some of the required stuff and not having it there. This gives people the opportunity to be able to do this and parents to have that information ready to go. So it's one click as opposed to 5 pages, right?
Exactly. And it means that you won't have to refill out the same information time and time again and print out the A and B forms and fill out all the information. Everything will be stored in the CampDoc profile. And when you register for a new event, it'll automatically be linking to your CampDoc profile for that year. So it's going to
Cool.
make life easier for the units and for the parents and for everyone involved. We're really excited for this to take off in the council.
Beautiful. Well, let's get to it.
All right, so I am going to share my screen and show you folks kind of the basic steps of how to get this all set up. So as you can see on the screen here, we are set up to as if we were registering for the freeze out at Camp Resolute this year, coming up in a couple of weeks. Make sure you get your registrations in. We go up to the right-hand side here and click the register button. The important part here is make sure you log in because this will save your registrations and your information. I'm going to log in under my account because that's what my computer knows. And then you can set up doing registrations for your scouts. So we're going to say for this one that I have 5 Scouts BSA. I'm going to bring our 5 Webelos and Arrow of Lights from the dens below us so they can check it out and have some fun with us for the day. And we have 4 adults coming. So this is going to come in and ask us to submit all of this extra information. So we want to submit our towns, and anything that is blinking with the red and the exclamation point are the mandatory things you need to fill out. I'll go back and fill that out shortly. But in the meantime, under each one of the people that you are registering, so we have our 5 Scouts BSA, our 5 Webelos, and our 4 adults. If you open it up and click Update Information, this is where you're going to put in the Scouts information. So their first name, their last name, gender, the emergency contact. This is the stuff you do every time we do an event. So we set that all up. Now, if you scroll a little bit lower, it has the instructions to set up their CampDoc profile. And this is where you want to do that step. Although you could, on the back end, go in through the CampDoc website and retroactively set it up to BlackPug, this will actually make it so that you are setting up your scout with a Mayflower CampDoc profile. So it'll automatically be set up as a Mayflower account and linked with us rather than a generic CampDoc account. So we click the Set Up CampDoc profile. You're going to enter the scout's full name. So if they go by Tommy, you want to make sure we do Thomas, say Jones, and make sure you get their accurate birthday. So you can use your Internet Advancement roster to fill in their birthday. But because this links to their CampDoc account, we want to make sure that that is correct. So we'll do 5/7/2015. Nope. It's a little young to be this. Gender is not required, but you can put that in. And then the last step here is the really important one. So whatever email you put in that field is going to be the email that gets the request to set up the CampDoc account. So we might be tempted to use our Scouts email, but more than likely you want to use one of their parents' emails. So fill that in. You're going to click and save it. And you're going to want to go through and do that for each of the people that you are registering. So there's Thomas Jones. He's getting ready to go. Now, once you've gone through and done all of the steps and set up the CampDocs for each person, you'll go through to checkout and we'll make our payment. Once you've made the payment and you've finalized your registration, all of the emails that you included in those CampDoc email requests will immediately get an email that looks like this. You've been granted access to manage the CampDoc profile for Logan Ferraro at Mayflower BSA. They can click on that link and it'll open them up to their CampDoc profile. Now that's it. You've done everything you need to do as a leader. They will be able to open up their CampDoc and it works as a virtual med forum. They will walk through it step by step, and CampDoc is nice enough to say, you've finished 12%, you've finished 24%, you've finished 36%. And it's great because it lights up and flashes if you miss something. It automatically requests all of the information that we need, and it even has the forms for sanitizer, photo release, and shooting sports all included within that CampDocs application. So the only thing that leaders now need to bring for registration and check-in the day of the event is a roster saying that all of the scouts who are attending are the ones that match your CampDocs accounts.
So when they show up, if hypothetically, and again, let's go through some of the things we run into all the time. If they show up and Billy Jones is on the roster, but is not there, they can't obviously substitute somebody else. This all has to be done in advance, right?
Right. They could substitute someone, but it would be they have to step to the side of registration and go into BlackPug and edit it that way. So they would have to
Okay.
go in and pull out Tommy Jones and add in John Smith. He'll get it, his parents will get an email and they'll have to update the health form, just like we normally would if someone arrives the day of without a health form and we hand you a paper one that says, oh, you need to fill this out. Have fun. We'll see you shortly. This is just an online version of that, which will help because we won't ever run out of extra copies of the health form that folks need to fill out the morning of the event.
So we're going to save some paper here. Obviously, we're going to have laptops available for people to be able to do it. But I think the big message you want to get out to all of our leaders, especially with things that are coming up rather quickly in the next few weeks, is get your families to make the profile so that the registration process is simple. Because the longer that takes, the less time that scouts are going to have to be able to enjoy things like Freeze Out and Klondike coming up in a few weeks.
Correct.
Okay.
We really want to make sure that our families are going in and updating these profiles. And any unit leaders who did this last summer, and the big frustration we saw was that BlackPug did not in the past show you who had completed their CampDocs. We fixed that.
Oh, okay.
Lisa worked directly with CampDocs, and now if you log back into your BlackPug registration for the event, under each scout that you registered, it will have a percentage completed of CampDocs. So you can see exactly Tommy Jones has completed 100% and John Smith completed 30. All right, well, we need to talk to John and his parents and make sure that they finish that before we get to the night of the event.
Awesome. Anything else to add in this little seminar we put together tonight?
Just that if you have any questions or you're running into any troubles, don't hesitate to shoot me an email at logan@mayflowerbsa.org. I am happy to help you out. If I don't have the answers, I will get them for you.
Awesome. Well, that seems pretty easy, Logan. I think we're going to be able to get everybody up to speed in no time and make that registration. Once this is done, and I think this is the food for thought. Once this is all done, I think people are going to agree that when they show up for an event that day, it's going to be okay, here's your patches. We checked your roster. Now go out and do scouting, which is kind of the point to all this, right?
Exactly. And the biggest complaint we've had over the last couple of years of events is that registration can take so long because we have to go through those documents and we want to make sure that all of our scouts are safe. So if we have them ahead of time and I can log in on Thursday and say, yep, all the people who are registered are all set up. Yeah, there'll be the occasional outlier, but in overall, we're going to cut down registration time at least in half, if not more, which gives our scouts more time to enjoy the events.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Logan, thanks for the update.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And we'll see everybody soon.
Yes, we will.